Today, you will learn how to create a simple prank. The first thing you need is obviously Visual Studio Code. In case you haven't set up Visual Studio Code yet, there's a short video on my channel. You can also check out that video to see how to add CSS and JavaScript files. Let's get started. The first thing I do is create an HTML file and add a div element to it. I then assign a class and an ID to that div. We'll use the class for CSS and the ID for JavaScript. Inside that div, we add an h1 tag where we'll place the text, along with two buttons for yes or no responses. Inside those two buttons, we add IDs and a function that will be called onClick. We'll define this function later in JavaScript. Now that we have all the elements, we can style them using CSS. You can customize this part however you like or copy mine. I used lighter colors, set the border to 2 pixels, height to 150 pixels, and width to 250 pixels. I added a border radius of 10 pixels for rounded corners. To center the window, I used margin left and margin right set to auto, added padding, and used margin top set to 30% to move the window down from the top. For the buttons, I also changed the size, border, color, and added a box shadow. Then I used the IDs of the buttons to change the text color and applied a hover effect to change the color when the mouse is over the button. And that's it for the CSS. Again, you can adjust this to look however you prefer. Now, let's move on to JavaScript. Let's create a global variable b that we'll need later in the task. After that, we'll write the function linked to the second button. Inside this function, we'll increment b with b++ every time someone clicks the button, increasing the value of b. We'll use the ID of the second button to set its position to absolute. Then, we write an if statement, just like you see on the screen. In this if, the button's position changes if b equals 1. It's not hard to understand this part because top 5% means move the button 5% down from the top of the page, and right moves it to the right side of the page. Let's repeat the same process several times using else if, changing the numbers within the quotes each time. In the last part, don't forget to reset the global variable b to 0. Now, let me explain its purpose. Every time someone clicks the button, our variable increases by 1 and goes through the if statements. For example, if b equals 3, the button's position will be set to top, 80% and right, 70%. In the final part, b is reset to 0, so that this cycle can repeat. You can achieve this in multiple ways, so let's try using a switch statement instead. To make this even more fun, you can change the onClick event to onMouseMove, so it looks like you're chasing the button. For the yes button, the function is very simple. We just change the HTML content to an h1 tag and write whatever message we want inside it. In the next video, we will make it mobile responsive. And that's it. You can change the questions and answers as you like, and the only thing left is to find a friend to test it out. Subscribe for more videos on this topic.